Colin, have I got sound? Have I got any sound? Oh, it looks like I've got sound. I'm on another computer. My computer's died. So let's go through who we got here. Colin Guntrip, hi mate. Darren, hi. Dirty Katie, hi. Dipsy, hello. Yeah, Dipsy disappointed me today. You weren't first in. How's things? Yeah, this is the Ben Speed. Yeah, I'm okay, mate. I've had a computer failure today. How are you all? Something that just don't quite look right here with the webcam. Maybe it's a little bit high or higher than normal. Leader Brewer. It's the home internet. Yeah, okay. He was out on a boat last week. I mean, come on. Hi, Rob Bunyan. Yeah, it don't quite look right, does it? Everything's the same. But I'm on another computer, which I've been messing about with today. And I'm only on a webcam. I mean, I really need to sort my life out this end. Stephen Gunrunner. It's the weekend gone, and let's hope for them short contacts. Any contacts, mate. It'd be good old. For the people that remember to do that, fair enough. Yeah, it does look foggy, doesn't it? The lens looks clean. But there's just something not quite right. I'm not used to this computer. It's like getting another rig. Del Boy, yeah, watching TV at the moment. Just a quick hello. Yeah, fair enough, mate. At least you sort of popped your head round the corner of the door. Lizard Lick, where's the Christmas jumper? It'll come, don't worry. I mean, you know, I'm a bit sort of random in life as well as everything else. Ben Speed saying about the fog. Yeah, I've had some good contacts during foggy conditions, both on CB radio over the years and one particular night on top band when I was using HF. Anyway, I'll just waffle on for a little minute. As usual, I'm not organised. And I did smile the other day at Fred, his video. Everything is all neat, and even the pen is set up straight. That's just not me, I'm afraid. Hence the random curtain pole in the background. I was looking at the manual for the Anytone that I've got. There it is. And I was just looking at the claimed power output on it because I couldn't honestly remember. According to the output power, the transmitter section does 15 watts on AM, 45 watts on FM, and 60 watts on sideband. Now, I've not power tested this one yet, but it is unmolested. I mean, Nowadays, you don't need to mess about with them, or you shouldn't, at least, unless you know what you're doing. So I would say it should be about right. Nigel P. Lawrence. Now, Nigel, you said that lead is your title. What does lead mean? You said that the other week. I've never heard of it, to be honest. Everything seems to have locked up here a little bit. Oh, it's slowly going. Andy Spencer. Hi, mate. Hope you're well. So, Nigel P. Lawrence, if you're a lord, okay, you're a Scottish landowner. Okay, that's fair enough. Maybe I'll Google you later on, see exactly who you are. But yeah, fair play to you, mate. Albert 30 says he's got his rig out the loft and I need a burner, aerial and power supply. Yeah, Albert, what rig have you got, mate? What burner are you thinking of getting? Radio Cruncher says I expect it will be a little under the claimed wattage. Well, my 9900, I'm not sure. I thought the 9900 did claimed 50 watts on FM. I could be wrong. Okay, Dipsy, yeah, fair enough, mate. On the 9900, when I power tested mine, it was actually over the claimed power, as a lot of people's rigs are. I've seen someone on YouTube, an amateur, with all the proper test kit, not like some old Zatagi power meter. It was a proper MFJ or something like that. And he checked the power on sideband, and his was doing nearly 100 watts. Dipsy says, yeah. Yeah, all right, Dipsy, fair enough. Andy Spencer says, what's the best rig? We've actually put ring on the market. Well, I don't know. Years ago, you used to have the issue with descents, bleed over. Nowadays, we don't tend to have that. And let's be honest, the amount of power that most people run nowadays, you know, people might be running, I don't know, 100 watts, 200 watts. If you happen to live down the road, no matter what rig you're going to get, you're going to get some sort of interference. But I would say you've got 3 or 4 what I would call good rigs, multi-mode rigs. You've got the CRT 6900, the CRT 9900. They're basically 10-meter rigs. You've got the Grant 2, if you can get hold of one, and the President McKinley. Most of the kit on the market now is pretty good. Ben Speed says 10 grams worth of HF radio. Do you know what? I went in a shop once, an amateur radio shop, and for the life of me, the name escapes me. I went in there and there was this big old HF set. It was an icon of some description, and the price of it was, I don't know, it was 5,000 whatever, and it was connected up to an aerial. So I'm sort of marvelling over it, thinking I won't even know how to fly that thing, like you do. And the guy says, "You can have a go on it, mate, if you're licensed." I said, "No, you're all right." I said, "If I key up and there's a big flash and a bang, I ain't got $5,000 to gear." Nigel says, "What is my amateur radio course on?" I haven't got one at the minute because I'm not licensed. Oh, yeah, Stephen, Gunrunner, says the 7900 is a very user-friendly rig to use. I've never had one of them, Steve. I've got no doubt they're a nice enough rig. What I found nowadays is a bit of an issue. Everyone gets all excited about coming back on CB, and that's great. Now, they might have been on back in the day, and they might have been on for 10 years. But things have moved on so much now. A local guy, I know he used to have sideband rigs because I bought one off him, at least one. Yeah, I was licensed, Ben. I used amateur radio for, I don't know, about 10 years, but my license has expired, so I'm not going to give it out over here, mate. Yeah, Nigel, it's a long story, mate, when you say why not renew it. It's a long story, which Eddie's mum's just turned up. Hi, Eddie's mum. How you doing? Paranormal 2016 said he failed the test 2 times. Whereabouts are you, Paranormal? In the UK? And are you talking about the foundation license you failed? Al Bast, hi Alan, how you doing, mate? He's buzzing because he got into America today, yeah. Fair play to you, mate. Leader Brewer says, has anyone ever used a low loss filter? I presume you mean the low pass filter. I've used all of them in my day. Some of them make a difference, some don't. You got low pass and high pass. I can't remember which way around they go. Maybe Nigel will better enlighten you on that if he's into the amateur scene at the minute. Now, here's one for you all. You know me, I say it the way it is. When I went for my foundation, right, I'd done all the tests online, passed all of them, got into the actual exam, right, and you're allowed to sit, you're not allowed your phones and all that, you're not allowed to talk and all this sort of rubbish. He said, okay, you can all start. So I got my pen, opens the first page. I'm looking at it, and like when you have a brain freeze, I thought, I can't remember the answer to any of these. I thought, this ain't going good. So I turned over the page, and I thought, I know the answer to that, definitely, tick. Know the answer to that, tick. And what I did, I went all the way through, answered the ones I definitely knew, then went back to page 1, and by then I'd sort of settled myself down a little bit. Needless to say, I did pass, but I thought, oh my God, Hi, Jason, Romeo Tango 431. How are you, mate? Ben Speed. Yeah, fair enough, mate. I don't like to keep going on about the likes. It does help, but I get sick of my own voice. If people like the video, if you don't, don't bother. Do you know what I mean? Albert Footy says he's got a Grant too. It's been in the loft, hasn't used it for a couple of years, blah, blah, blah. Are they any good? Yeah, they're all right. I had one. The other lads might give their opinion on them. Swadey boy. Hi, mate. Hope you're well. Yeah, Radio Cruncher. It's easy enough to get it revalidated. It is easy. You're right. But let's just say at the minute, I'm not going to bother. Yeah, fair play to you, Ben. You know, I mean, I've the last video, I think I put it up as a CB radio Q&A. No one bothered really to come along apart from you guys. You all know what you're doing. So today I just put it as CB radio. Simon Rickson's asking about the 29.95. Never had one, mate. But I will say most Rangers are good. I'm a bit of a Ranger fan myself. But as for that actual rig, I don't know. It could have some flaws. So I'm not going to say, yeah, get it. Yeah, 73's Mr. Gunrunner. You take care, mate. Maybe catch you next time. Bob says, as long as it's a radio, I like it. Yeah, pretty much the same here, mate. From this little audio line, 6900N, you can't see it, but underneath is the Superstar 360 FM. Yeah, Vernon. Yeah, I don't know. This hat seems to have become quite popular. I think I could just stick a dummy in. As long as it's wearing that hat, it don't really matter. How are you, Vernon? Yeah, Nigel, just last week, I think it was, you were saying that you were looking to get a rig to use on the CB band. I think you said you never had one. So I take it the 2950 is like a recent purchase. Leader Brewer's asking for thoughts on dipoles. Dipoles are all right. What sort of band are you thinking of, Lee? You're talking about on the CB band, because we were making them back in the 80s out of 2 bits of wire. Yeah, Dirty Katie. Is that Jason? I get mixed up with people's names nowadays. Basically, Dirty Kate is saying that his has run out and he ain't bothering to revalidate either. Yeah, it's a round to it job. Yeah, Vernon saying he's just worked the States on 375 lower sideband. Yeah, Lee, dipoles are all right. But I think the 2LT, it's not much harder to make. And it's easier to use, if that makes any sense to you. If you make a dipole, unless you've actually constructed it, you know, like a piece of aluminium at the top, the radiator, and your ground plane bit hanging below, you've then got to try and get it in a position to run it vertical. In other words, support it in the middle and have some sort of bracket, which is a bit of a pain to do. I mean, you could even do it with wood. But the 2LT, it's basically fed at the bottom. So you've got like one run, you know, you've got your choke and all the rest of it. But for practical reasons, I would say the 2LT or T2LT, whatever it's called. Lee the Brewer means no, he meant purchased. What are you using at the minute, Lee? I don't care, or me and the other lads, it ain't all about me. I can tell you whether it's worthwhile bothering, whether if you're looking to reduce noise, improve performance, or maybe you ain't got home base area up at the minute. I don't know. Per VP, yeah, enough said. Yeah, that all copied, Nigel. I get what you're saying there. Yeah, Simon Rickson saying for about 15 quid, the 2LT is an absolute bargain for me. Well, I had a bit of coax laying about and a PL259. I wouldn't say it didn't cost me anything because I suppose technically it did when I originally bought the stuff. Lee the Brewer said he's using an 827. And you want to try a dipole, or is it a good idea? I'd say no. The 827 should outperform that hands down. Darren Howell, hiya Darren, how are you, mate? What's the matter with the 827? Is it broke, or you got high SWR problem, or is it bringing in a lot of noise, or I don't know. Lee's got a TVI issue. Is that with you, Lee, or your neighbours? Rob Bunyan says, does he need a Charlie Tango call sign? No, you don't. You can make your own one up. The idea, Rob, of a call sign makes us all unique. So let's just say someone in France can hear a load of Englishmen and you go back to them. My Muppet handle's Fat Man. Sometimes things like that, the language barrier, if you like, can make things difficult. A call sign is unique to you because if you just said, "Oh, hi, Pierre, this is Steve," and you had a really good chat and you thought, do you know what, I'd like to chat to him again. Something's gone wrong here, I think. There's hundreds of Steves in the UK, so your call sign just makes you unique. Some people will keep like a log. Adrian Hobby. Yes, exactly. It does sound like an insult. Back in the AM days, one of my first contacts, I spoke to this guy and I'd been earwigging for a little while, right? And I thought, I think I know who he is. His name, funny enough, was Steve. And his Muppet handle was Beaker, as in a plastic beaker, So I went on the side of him and I was real mic shy, and I didn't really know what to say. And I said, I told him who I was. He goes, "Oh, hello, mate. How are you?" He was my friend's elder brother. what's your handle? And I told him, Fat Man. He goes, yeah, you can't call yourself that. He said, hey, nah. He said, I don't like that handle, you know, blah, blah, blah. But it did stick. I never had a problem with it. I got called names over the years, but, you know, you've got to have thick skin. Just people need to get over themselves, don't they? Probably under the sheets, Ben. Yeah, Nigel's just said his aerials are T2LT for 12 metres and RX for 27 and 28 metres. Now there's another message held for a review. You've got to be careful what you say, lads. If there's anything that looks a bit like a swear word or an insult, YouTube just oinks it up. And I went into my messages the other day. See, it's just like a little bit of a, I was going to say a word of caution, but it's not a caution. I had loads of messages. People have put up things, have a look at my channel, here's a link, and someone else have a look, you know, and there was another one which is a porno site, take a look at my site, like me, I love you, and all this malarkey. It just gets thrown straight in the spam. If you've got a channel, you want a shout out from it, ask me, I'll have a look at your channel. If I like it and it's sort of about along the same theme here, I will give you a shout out. Radio Cruncher gets the same. See, years ago, if you was in, I don't know, making cakes, and your channel was about making cakes, what you would do, you'd type in making cakes into YouTube, go to the video on the top, make a comment. So I make cakes as well. Bosh, there's a link to my site. People used to, you know, scavenge other people's subscribers, and it's a bit of free advertising. I can see why people did it. I'd probably be doing it myself, but that don't work nowadays. You know, that's old hat. Radio Cruncher says he gave away a Kestrel CB today. I'll tell you something I did, right? Now, I don't want to upset anyone here. If anyone remembers my TS 430, and the more observant of you would have known that one of the knobs on the front didn't match the rest. I can't remember what the knob did, but I nicked it off a Murphy home base. It was the channel selector, you know, that you turn. I have always hated the Murphy home base. I had one back in the day and it hummed, and I just thought it was shit. I was in here one day, right? I'm looking at this Murphy home base, and on eBay they're flogging for, you know, whatever money. So I thought, I know what, I've got good use for that. I chopped the plug off the end and stuck the rig in the bin. In hindsight, maybe I should have put it on eBay. But it's one of my pet hates was the Murphy home base, along with the Fidelity 3000 home base, you know, the one with a slanted front on it. I made the mistake of getting one of them in a deal. You didn't need to tune the channel changer because it got that much interference. You know, you might as well have been on 28, 29 megs. Radio Cruncher. Yeah, they are shocking. No, you're right, Adrian. The bottom line there, rig, you know, if it's the only rig I had, I'd probably be glad of it. But I don't know. There's good rigs and there's mediocre rigs and there's what I call shit rigs. And to me, the Murphy Own Base was one of them. I would put the Amstrad 901 head and shoulders above them things. Radio Cruncher says there seems to be a lot of interest in them. Well, you know why, don't you? I'm not going to spell it out for you. Albert Footy says his ex-missus sold his Harrier CBX Stereo mobile antenna at a boot sale for £5. Been there, mate. I have been there, trust me on that. Not going to elaborate on that. Adrian Hobby said his first rig was a Fidelity 1000. He was none the wiser back then. I've got to be honest, I've got my opinion on the Fidelity 1000 as well, but even that, in my book, is better than the Murphy Own Base. Yeah, Radio Cruncher. Let me think if you might be right about that person in the shed. Nigel says, Fred in the shed says, saying that old CB radios have gone up. Well, I never knew that. And I'm sure. Yeah, where is Fred? He's probably got his feet up in his new posh shack, isn't he? Yeah, the Yorks, I thought they were all right. The Rotels, you know, and all of them, the CBX. The Fidelity 2000 or 2001, I can't remember which, I think, but they were all right. Gary, it's all about the look, mate. It's keeping up appearance, isn't it? Oh, dear. Makes me laugh. Ben Speed says his mate detests the Amstrad 901 and you wind him up. They were a bit of a Marmite rig, weren't they? I mean, they're never fantastic. But, you know, like probably a lot of you guys, you can remember, you know, back in the day, that 901 bleep was very distinctive on it. I can still hear it now in my distant memories. Adrian says Unidens are deaf. Nigel's got a full York collection. I'll tell you what, this is Alan Albast. He's asked if it's got an AM switch on the side. I can't believe you've even seen that. It has got a switch on the side. Richard McCartney's still on his Uniden 200. I'm a fan of Uniden. Always have been. Albar said he had an audio line like that and it had an AM board in it. That ain't got AM in it. Who can guess what that switch does? Adrian says there's a switch, turn the smoke on and off. No. High and low, no. Power switch, no. Mids, no. It's not the mids. Now this is, I've got to be honest with you guys. I did it myself, right? And I didn't want to interfere with the switches on the front of the rig. Richard Giles, yeah, well done, mate. It's Roger Blake. Internal air freshener. I was playing about it. Well, this was probably about 7 years ago. Someone gave me a Roger Blake, no instructions on it, nothing, and it took me ages. And anyway, I got it to work in that little rig, but it's quite a long bleep. It resembles, I think, the letter. Hold on. Yeah, it sounds a little bit like the letter Y in Morse code. It don't sound like a K, which is similar. I should have wound you up and I should have stuck a big metal box under it and said it's got a kilowatt burner inside it. Dirty diaper. Hiya. Finally caught the live show. Had a great week. 21 in South Carolina. I keep seeing about this old radio night. I don't know whether that's something that goes out over the air or whether that's something on one of these network radio groups. Do you know what? This is something that I was explained, or it was explained to me years ago. I was talking to a local rig doctor about, and what's made me think, someone said it could be a channel 41 mod or channel 42 mod. And I was, because a lot of the rigs back in the day, and there's still a lot of them kicking around. If you went from, say, mid block to high block, if you was on channel 1, when you went up the hot upper block, it would say channel 41. And I was a bit confused. I thought it's a completely different area. And the local rig doctor said, no, basically, if you could literally go up one channel from channel 40, it takes you there. But it just takes the band selector to go from mid to high to enable that. So basically goes the legal side of CB, channel 1, 26,965, up to channel 40, 27,405, and then you go up, and then you've got, like, I think there's 16 channels if you keep going up, and then you end up on channel 1 of what we call the Muppets, or the CB 2781 channels. The alphas are always worth exploring. Maybe not so much nowadays because so many people have got a HF kit. You know, half the people on the 305 group didn't even know what an alpha channel was. Dips is going on about... So who else has actually got... This is fess up time. Who has got a Murphy home base? Because they've been watching Fred in the Shed video. And what's your honest opinion on them? I've got to be honest, that one I stuck in the bin. You know, it was a bit of an old dog. Jahoop. Yeah. Seconded. AMC Doogie's asking if I ever used 26555. No, not that I can recall, mate. Radio Crunch is too embarrassed to get it out. Albert Footy is asking where's the best place to get some stuff from. Knights in Lincolnshire or Thunderpole. Have a look at the prices. They're both reputable dealers, and I'm not going to suggest one over the other. Tim says, oi, oi. Hi, Tim. How are you, mate? Yeah, Dirty Diaper. There was the Murphy home base, and there was also a Murphy mobile rig. I can't remember the model number of that. Maybe someone else can. Ben is talking about the Midland home base. I never had a Midland home base. I've had a York. At least 2 AM General Electric home bases. I've had a Harvard home base. I've had a Jumbo home base. And back in the day, I bought a President Maddeson off of a local lad. And the Murphy, of course. It found its right place in the world in the end. Sitting right in the bottom of our recycling bin. Andy Spencer's asking, what is the best home base CB? I don't know. These modern ones, you know, you're looking at hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Most people tend to use a mobile rig at home now. Peter Barrett says, I watch all your videos when you were working in Hemel Hempstead. I used to be on CB in the 80s in Leighton Buzzard. Pete, I'm going to ask you this. Can you remember a guy called Stuart that lived out your way and he had a blood disorder? His mum had a big American car, and there was another Stuart used to live in Wigginton up on the hill. Do you remember either of them? Yeah, Adrian. I think that's a standard thing with the Murphy. It's one of the reasons I didn't like it because of the mains hum. Simon says there's definitely a gap in the market for a decent home base. Yeah, you're probably right. I still say that if Capo bought out a power mic with a tone slider on it, I think everyone and their mother would have one. Richard McCooney must be wearing headphones, I think. There's no clock in this room, but there's a freezer behind me. Could be that. It could be the computer even. You got me now. There is all sorts of noises. Oh, it might be my CCTV. The main unit, there's a little light when it's recording. It's flashing, and it does make the odd noise. It's got a mechanical hard drive in it. Yeah, headphones. Yeah, you hear everything with them, Richard. Adrian says CCTV for that silly little radio. No, it's for me, mate. We've got cameras front, side, and back. Colin Wiltshire says there's a Murphy home base on eBay for 75 quid, and what a bargain. Hey? Yeah, Simon, all I can say is be careful what you buy. I see a lot of stuff on eBay, and it would be like, well, I found this in the loft. I've untested it, but it should work. I'm selling it as 40 anyway. Give us 150 quid. It's yours. It's an antique. It's a bargain. Do you know what I mean? You take your chances. Lizard lick. I'll take that as a compliment, mate. Yeah, cheers for that. Just home security. I don't think you can be too safe in this day and age. What with these home invasions and all that? People coming in balaclavas, baseball bats, you know. And you'd be surprised what you see on CCTV. I just happened to be scanning through the footage. It stores like a month at a time, and then it starts to rewrite. And I was fast forwarding, and all of a sudden I see these two figures come walking down the path to the front door and then back again. I thought, who were they? I rewound it, and they had let's just say they had a good nose around. It was on tiptoes trying to look over our gate, and then one of them looked straight at the camera, and he sort of went. They both tottled off. You can't be too careful. Yes, if I can minimalise this just for a second, if I disappear and I don't come back, I'll say thanks for watching. But this might make you smile. I just hope I can find my way back here. Oh no, here we go. I don't know if this will play. Did you hear that, you guys? Hi, Anna X. How you doing? I'm not saying any more than that, right? This is regarding the CCTV. Yeah, I'll say no more on that, Dipsy. But let's just say you can't be too careful nowadays, can you? Darren says he's got CCTV and he uses it to watch the foxes. Likewise, we feed, I think there's 4 foxes now. They come right to our front door. It was the mum and dad that used to come, and then the 2 cubs used to come. I think the most I've ever seen at the bowl in one time was 3 foxes, but they only ever come under the cover of darkness. I've never seen them in daylight. What else have I seen on my CCTV? Where I used to live, I lived in a cottage, and the back window, it was only, you know what cottage windows are like, not very big at all, but it was like a 2-paner, if you like. And the back of the cottage, there was no back door, but behind the cottage was a public right of way between our house and a thatched cottage the other side. And quite often, people would take that route to go walking down the fields and have their rucksacks on and their walking sticks, you know, and all that jolly old stuff. Well, people would often go up in the window, you know. So I put myself a small camera, it's about as big as a cotton reel, in the plant pot there. And I put a little sticker on a bit of card in the thing, said, "I'm watching you," right? I played the video back one day. There's this woman blatantly looking in. And then you just see her eyes go like that. And she went, and she waved, and off she went. Seen badgers on the CCTV. I saw someone back into my fence and break it when I lived up there. See someone looking under my front door mat to see if there's a key and checking under the plant pots. So yeah, you can never be too careful. What you don't know don't hurt you, but what you do know makes you a little bit more aware. Oh, well done, Darren. I've got to be honest, round here, regarding the foxes, they're as wild as you like. And I've not tried any of the, to tame them down or whatever. I just think they need to be as alert as what they can around here, at least, because there's some cruel people around. Yeah, Eddie's mum, straight up. And the original reason that I got the CCTV was because I sat there watching telly in that same place, and one night I had the curtains pulled, but it's still light outside. I saw a figure there. I thought it was someone looking in. I stood up, and as I moved away, I saw a shine of a watch on their right hand. Simon's saying he lives in the sticks at the minute. Well, I was pretty much out in the sticks in the cottage. And it was there that I decided to get the CCTV. Anyway, this person was looking in the window. I got up and I went to pull the curtains. They moved away. They saw me or heard me coming. It was only a single glazed window. So I got a CCTV and I screwed it on the top of the frame at the bedroom window. And you'd be surprised what you see. What people think's okay, you know, come in your garden, have a little look around, you know. Dipsy, don't hide them, mate. Because if you wake up and you think there's someone in the house, you need to better stick your hand straight on it. The thing is with a bat, they're all right, but they're in a confined space. Yeah, fair play to you, Darren. It's true, isn't it? You do see. I mean, that's pretty low, isn't it? Lizard lick. How dare they look in your window? The curtains were pulled, Lizard lick. But it was a grade 2 listed building and everything had to stay in spec. So you'd only have like single glazed windows. And I ain't, how can I do this without incriminating someone too much? I think what they were actually doing was listening. All right, I'll have to leave that one there. But I did catch someone doing exactly that on the camera, and I'll say no more about that. They say they never did it again. Yeah, Bob's tooled up. I think John B is Rambo. Sounds it. Yeah, fair play to you, mate. Swady boy, yeah, take care, mate. I'm going to wrap this up in a minute. I hope everyone's enjoyed it. It's been a bit of a random rant, really, particularly from me. But I say, you know, thanks everyone for turning up. We'll have to buy a baseball bat. That is always on the end of your arm, and always remember that, mate. Richard McCartney, thanks, mate. Yeah, as Ben. Simon. And obviously have hunting knives. Dipsy. Adrian, yeah, thanks for coming along, mate. You don't have to thank me. Yeah, I enjoy this as well. You know, it wouldn't be, it'd be boring for me if no one joined. So it's a joint effort. Oh, and this is to Dipsy. I've got some more racing pictures to put up, and I will. All this is to everyone else. I will put maybe some QSL cards amongst. I don't know what you call it. Is it like a collage? I don't really know. You know, like I did before, where I'm in one corner on the webcam and I show you basic stuff. But as I'm now running on a new computer, well, new second-hand one, I've been messing about fitting the second hard drive in it and reinstalling everything. It's been a nightmare, to be fair. Right, guys, I'm about to hit that big switch. Thanks for turning up. Sleep tight tonight. All right. And I'll catch you Wednesday if anyone's available Wednesday. Yeah, good DX to you all. 73s. Take care.